wanted to take a quick second to make a huge announcement. My very own self-published adult coloring book is now available for purchase on amzn.to. And welcome back to another episode of the Organic Mindset Podcast. This is week 19. Week 19. We made it this far. So next week is week 20, of course, and I'll be switching it up. I don't know what I'm going to do different, but I do have one big announcement on the way, but I think I'm going to save it for next week. This week, I wanted to mainly direct, the conversation pretty much towards NFTs and more so just share my experiences as well as like additional knowledge, because like I always say, the podcast in general kind of just motivates me to kind of dig further into, doing my research and just kind of like things of that nature. So definitely, need that. So, yeah, man. And of course, like I said, if you listen to, some of the previous podcasts, like for sure, I think the episode before last, I pretty much kind of talk about, just pretty much, I guess, like, general things as far as, what you need to do in relation to NFTs and stuff like that, and kind of how they could be beneficial. But like I said, in this episode, I kind of want to go in and share like my personal experience as well as just kind of like, some of the pros, I could see pros as well as cons. But yeah, man, we're gonna get right into it. So first thing first, like I say, NFT, non-fungible token. And if you're not familiar with kind of some, because this would be kind of like more so kind of like a part two. So if you're not familiar with some of the things I'm talking about, you can go back and listen to the first episode. And like I said, I'll link that above or whatever. But yeah, like I say, make sure y'all tap in, man, because this is some very important information. So yeah, first thing, like I said, I kind of wanted to talk about was just important things that you need, and I kind of wanted to just go a little bit more in depth than I did on the previous episodes where I talked about it. So first thing, I would say is Metalink. So that's something that I've been able to kind of like utilize, and it's been very helpful to me. And with Metalink, it's pretty much just like an additional place to kind of do your research. So I'm pretty much naming these things out of order as well, but once you kind of like familiarize yourself with like what they are, then you'll pretty much kind of capitalize on pretty much the order you can use them in. And I guess it's kind of like, it's really kind of just like anything else, there's no such thing as like too much research or anything like that. So with Metalink, you're pretty much able to go on there and kind of do additional research. You kind of able to go on there and see, it's kind of like a Facebook feed for NFTs, and most people, like I say, just think NFTs are JPEGs. But if you think that, then clearly you need to do more research. But as far as like Metalink, like I say, you go on there, it's kind of like a Facebook thread, but strictly for NFTs, and it tells you what people are selling a lot of, what people are buying. And something unique about this is it also allows you to kind of like tap into other people's wallets, not really no hacking stuff or nothing like that, but as far as, view their wallets, which is completely fine, because you could actually, share your own personal wallet just so people could kind of see your collection. So as of right now, I'm holding like, I think I had like 6 NFTs. And anyway, whenever you go into these people wallets or whatever, you'll kind of see like some of the bigger holders or whatever, kind of on previous things I talked about as well, or just a lot of things on the trending list. And with that, you pretty much kind of like, you look at it, and if you see that they holding like a lot of valuable NFTs, then you're like, okay, well, maybe they know what they're doing, or maybe either they have a lot of money or either they know what they're doing. So, either way. But, that's one of the resources I use as far as just, like I say, kind of getting additional insight. And the number one thing I would say, like I kind of stated before, was Discord. So you kind of want to go into Discord, and with Discord, it's pretty much like I say, a community chat, and they pretty much kind of make announcements about the project. But the only thing about Discord is it could be so watered down, and it could have like plenty of bots. And I have been in, some projects, I just kind of get into the Discord just to kind of see what they're talking about and kind of see, where or what direction they're trying to go in. And it's crazy because a lot of times, like, it really took me a while to understand it. Like I said, I look at this stuff, for hours a day, but you really kind of want to look at the project, and look at the general chat, even like people involved in the community, because not saying, that's going to be solely the determining factor, because like I say, it is, up to the creators of the NFTs, as far as like the admin and stuff like that, to be able to kind of follow through with their vision. And I'll kind of get to that later, just talking about the roadmaps. But you kind of want to get in there and see, are they more so talking about the project as a whole, or are they talking about them being excited for the release? Because anybody could say, yeah, I'm excited for the release. I'm excited to see what it, is going to do. But overall, you kind of want to hone in and see what they're talking about, like as far as the direction of the project, if that makes sense. So that's kind of, one of those important things to consider, especially like I say within Discord, because they'll kind of make, a lot of announcements. And I had one project that I had invested in, and I'm not sure if it's kind of a rug pull, and that's kind of one of those. I mean, it sounds like pretty self-explanatory. It's like a rug pull, like you're on a rug and somebody just pull it from underneath you. So it's kind of like a scam in a sense. Well, pretty much that's what it is. It's a scam. So pretty much, the creators of the NFTs, they pretty much get paid up front. So whenever people are, buying these products after the NFTs are sold out, it's a possibility that you can get scammed. And, it's pretty much like a rug pull. Like everybody else kind of just runs off with their money after you, bought the products or minted the products. And that's pretty much it. But that's kind of where, I'm here to help, as well as, some of these resources that I'm naming. Like I say, you can go in and do your research and kind of pretty much limit, like limit your risk in a sense. So yeah. What else I wanted to talk about? Also, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was OpenSea. So OpenSea is the secondary market. So the way the NFTs go is a whitelist, and with the whitelist, that's kind of your ideal thing, what you want to get. Majority of the discards I've been in, the whitelist, it pretty much kind of like contains you reaching a certain level within the discard, and to get to this certain level, you pretty much just kind of interact within the community, stuff like that. Invite a certain amount of people, kind of, participate in these raids. And with the raids, it's pretty much like you going on Twitter or Instagram and pretty much just pushing out the product in a sense of, well, I say product, but, just kind of like promoting NFT, saying that it's dropping this, that, and the other. So it's pretty simple stuff, and the benefits of the whitelist is, so it's pretty much a reserved, amount of spots, all depending on the size of the NFT. And you pretty much, just kind of get first dibs. So you pretty much get a guaranteed NFT, but of course, you have to pay for it, but you get it for a lower price. Like one of the discards I was in, I want to say the whitelist mint was like 0.15 Ethereum, and I want to say like the public mint price was 0.18. So you save, 0.3 Ethereum, which can save you in the long run, well, even in the short run, really, because like I said, you have to, think about like gas fees and stuff like that. So that's kind of one of the things to think about. Then if you having to go to OpenSea, which is the secondary market, as I stated, then it's no telling, what you will be paying, because majority of the time it's like a floor price. And with the floor price, it's pretty much the cheapest that the people have listed the products on OpenSea are. So you might, have a mint for 0.3 Ethereum, and then when you go on OpenSea, the floor might be 1 Ethereum. So, you're looking at paying 0.7 extra, Ethereum, which is a couple $100. So you know what I'm saying? Like, you definitely want to be aware of that. But as far as, I really think it's an extra couple thousand. But yeah, anyway, you pretty much, want to be aware of that, just because, like I say, if it's a project that you kind of like really looking into, you'll do your due diligence on the front end, so you're not having to worry about the floor price. And some of the projects I have kind of been involved in, as far as the Discord, I'll see where they have like admin or either just other people in the group heavily involved, and they'll sweep the floor. And with sweeping the floor, they pretty much just going out and buying all the lowest NFTs, and that's leaving the floor price high. And that's pretty much what you want, because it's kind of like bringing value to the project, like I had talked about before with Bored Ape Yacht Club. So I want to say, like I say, the floor price in dollars, I can't remember what it was in Ethereum, but it was, like several $100,000. So with that, like I say, you kind of want to make sure you really, like I say, hone into that and just kind of, like I say, do your due diligence on the front end. The next thing I wanted to talk about was MetaMask. So with MetaMask, that is the wallet that I use. So pretty much, it holds your Ethereum as well as your NFTs. So with your MetaMask, is multiple ways to pretty much, put Ethereum on there. So it's really trial and error, but that's what I'm here for, to pretty much, tell y'all kind of like some of the mistakes I made so you won't make those mistakes. So pretty much on MetaMask, you could buy Ethereum two ways. So you could pretty much, buy it like linking your bank, or you could just link your card and just buy it directly. So at first I was buying it, on MetaMask, and I think it was charging me a pretty significant amount, $40-$50 or whatever transaction, because every time I was transferring 100, like a couple hundred. So a quick hack, or what I found, that you probably like still get your Ethereum, I guess, for cheaper, and the same amount is, well, really you kind of get more for your money. So one of the things I found out is just kind of going to Coinbase. So pretty much going on Coinbase, and you want to make sure you link your wallet. And Coinbase is really no linking, honestly. It's just more so kind of like being familiar with the addresses and stuff like that. So you'll go on Coinbase and you'll buy however much Ethereum that you want to have towards the project. And it's always, a good practice to make sure that you're getting, a little above, because like I say, it is gas fees and stuff like that. And me personally, I wouldn't recommend adjusting the gas fees if you don't really know what you're doing, because you could have the amount as far as the project, and not have the amount in gas fees, to try to pretty much, kind of like lower your gas fees, so you could pretty much so you could have enough, and you'll pretty much end up losing your whole gas fee. So however much you pay for the gas fee, whether it's 120, 200, you pretty much lost the whole thing, because it couldn't push through the NFT or whatever. So that was another one of the errors I had kind of made, early on. But at this point, like I said, I'm comfortable with adjusting the gas fees and stuff like that. But like I said, back to the Coinbase. So you want to go in there and get your Ethereum, and then you want to go back to MetaMask. Like I say, my personal wallet, that's the one that I use, but you can use, other ones. But you kind of want to go back into MetaMask, get your address from MetaMask, and you copy it to your clipboard. Then you go back to Coinbase and pretty much just get all your get all your Ethereum, and you'll transfer it to your MetaMask wallet. And then probably within probably about 20 seconds or so, you'll have your Ethereum in there. And then from Ethereum, you could go to your browser. From MetaMask, you can go into your browser, and that's how you'll be able to pretty much, kind of mention NFTs, whether it be on OpenSea or whether it be on the official website of whatever NFT project it is. And as far as, like I say, with that research, Discord, you kind of want to go into the Discord. Some of the key tips you want to do is you want to turn off like direct messages, because pretty much all of the direct messages, the admins and people in the group will always tell you like, don't accept any DMs. The DMs are fake, because people will tell you like, okay, you made the whitelist, here's the link, blah blah blah, and if you click the link, you'll pretty much get scammed. So you want to go into the Discord. First thing I always do, any Discord I join, so I don't like all those notifications, so I turn off the notifications, anything except for people adding me, because I do hope to get added, so people can go ahead and add me to the whitelist. But what else? Oh, and you also, like I say, want to cut off the direct messages. So with cutting off the direct messages, you pretty much, still kind of like able to just pretty much free roam into the Discord, kind of, discover it, make yourself familiar with it. And all Discords are different. Like I'm in one that's actually teaching well, I'm actually in two. I haven't bought the other one, but in one of them, they pretty much, kind of tell you about like options and stuff like that, pretty much telling you when to get out, when to get in. So I'm thinking about just personally investing into the project, but I kind of talk about that more when I get into the utility side of things. So something else, like I said, pretty much just as far as research, just like some people kind of look up like celebrity gossip and stuff like that, looking up all these multiple sources, you definitely want to do the same thing with like each NFT project. And I'm talking about dig deep. That was why I made it so important to make sure you kind of tap into MetaLink, just to see, if their project is like trending. And usually what I do, my personal practice is go back like 12 hours. So from the time I get on, it's like I say, a timeline. So I'll go back 12 hours to kind of see, and it's a lot of things that I see repetitive. I'm like, dang. Then I'll back source, and I'll go to OpenSea and just kind of look at the floor price, and I'm like, okay, I could see why they bought it for XYZ amount, But with their research, like I said, you definitely want to go in there. You want to go to the official website, and over there at the official website, you can kind of see you can see pretty much whatever they want to. I guess whatever they want to show you, and every project is different. But one thing that you do want to see is the roadmap, and that's pretty much kind of telling you each phase and kind of how they, some of the things that they plan to do. And most NFTs, they end up having, I want to say, the first phase or two, just kind of discussing in the group or whatever, and from there it's like mint date, whitelist, how much they want to contribute back to the community, getting involved in the metaverse, down the line, integrating weapons as far as which NFTs, because just like with the serums and stuff like that, it just kind of makes your NFT a more valuable asset. So definitely, like I say, look into that. Go into that Instagram, and on Instagram, I look at the followers. I look at how many people they follow. I look at the comments. I look at how many likes their posts get. And with Instagram, I pretty much seen a trend where, regardless of the project, Instagram is kind of the least interacted page. So with that being said, it can be a pro and a con. I guess the con would be you would be more likely to think that the project is fake or a scam, because it's like not that many people on there. It could still be 5 figures or whatever, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything either way. But as far as it's a positive as far as giveaways and stuff. So whenever it's time to go repost something on Instagram or go like something on Instagram, I feel like you have a better chance compared to Twitter, where more people are active. The page probably has more followers, more retweets, more likes, stuff like that. But I still do the same thing. I go look on their page, as well as just kind of looking in the regular search bar for the project, because people will always tell you, like, not saying that it's 100% accurate, because people talk and some people just kind of want to bash stuff, but they will say, possible scam because blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And kind of just based off of other people's opinions, I have been able to kind of spot out a couple of things, and that's kind of gonna bring me to my overall decision of doing what I'm planning on doing for the upcoming weeks, which I will explain later. And like I pretty much been saying this the whole time, but Ethereum, so it is pretty much, I want to say, like, the most popular thing that people are using to buy NFTs. So it also is Polygon, and I have used Polygon to purchase things, and you pretty much just kind of get it the same way, but Ethereum is definitely the top thing or whatever. And if you have Ethereum in any of your other wallets, then and you don't want to just go buy more Ethereum, you could pretty much transfer that over from whatever wallet or whatever site you use for crypto, and just kind of do it like that. So back to, I guess, some of those, more common terms that I had used. So like I said, whitelist, I pretty much explained that you definitely want to try to get in on the whitelist for any project that you're seriously considering, just for the benefit of getting, pretty much ensuring that you get that project or get in on that project, as well as, getting that lower mint price, because it's pretty much just like any other, stock or crypto. You get in low, you're more likely to see a benefit, regardless of if it rarely goes up. Compared, like, if I get in at 0.7 compared to I'm getting in at the public mint at 0.2, it's like, okay, I'm really not seeing a benefit, or I'm not really not seeing a profit compared to the other way around. The next term, like I said, is sweep. So the sweep, like I say, you pretty much you have a floor price, and it's people pretty much sweeping the floor. Like one of the projects I'll talk about later, for some reason I was at first, because they pretty much had their pre-sale or their whitelist purchases, and I was kind of trying to go in and just decide, because I didn't make the whitelist, so I was trying to kind of decide, like, do I want to really get into the project? So I'm on OpenSea looking, and there was a couple people that had listed that stuff, and it just wouldn't go below 0.2 0.1 Ethereum. At the time, that was like maybe 270. So as the prices of Ethereum fluctuate, these, the prices of these projects will fluctuate as well. But you kind of want to, keep a high floor price because it just pretty much, brings more attention and more eyes to that project as a whole. And there's also another term, paper hands. So with paper hands, I pretty much consider it just that it's people that pretty much, look for a short-term gain, not really on a long-term gain. I feel like even with crypto, I say that with crypto and NFTs, it's, pretty much a long-term hold. But I have, been one of my practices to kind of like get my initial investment back, so everything else is a profit. So it's like, even if I lose it all, I'm not really hurt because I didn't put in anything in. But you always want to get a gain, so you kind of have to have a threshold when it comes to NFTs and stuff like that, just so okay, I'm not gonna be greedy. So I personally don't like being in groups where it's not really many admins or anything like that, because that just kind of me personally, like I said, not a financial advisor on any of this, just kind of, giving my insight. But I don't like being in groups where it's not like where the admins or moderators or things of that nature can't be reached, or they don't really interact much, because they just kind of, to me, that shows me like, okay, you'd rather just have regular people talking to community, and at the end of the day, once you get that money, rug pull. In my opinion, they just give me rug pull vibes. Another one of the things I would say is just not necessarily having good engagement on social media. And something that I look at as engagement on social media is even just reposting people's story when they share when they pretty much share the project. Simple. Another red flag, kind of not having, and I guess this kind of goes back to the interaction, but if you go on Discord, you'll kind of see like reactions and stuff like that. So if an admin or something like that posts about the project, like saying, okay, we about to think about the next phase, this, that, and the other, and you're not seeing many reactions under these posts, then you're like, okay, this thing might be botted out. Like it might be a lot of bots in there, because you always will see in majority of groups, it's like banned bots and stuff like that. And on some of the admins, you'll actually see with them being like bots and stuff. And it's crazy. Like, I pretty much I was in one Discord group, and I was looking, because if you're on your computer, it'll show you on your right hand side like who's all online, the moderators, admin, stuff like that. And from there, like pretty much all of them had like the same like name. Like it wasn't a tag or anything like that. It was just like literally like the same names. I'm like, that just kind of made me think that it was like bots and stuff like that. So that was just kind of one of those things I was looking out for. Social media is the same way. As we all know, with regular social media, you can always buy followers, buy likes and stuff like that. And a lot of times I feel like people just kind of get underneath the projects to hype them up, or kind of want to get on that whitelist. So that's why I say it can be a pro and a con. But just definitely, like I say, looking at the engagement, and as far as the utility is pretty much, kind of what that project has to offer, or where they plan to go with it. Because I definitely do believe a lot of people that, create these projects or create these NFTs, they do have a long-term vision, and they kind of want the project to do good. And I feel like with that, it's also a benefit for the person that buys it, as well as the admin and just the people, creating the project as a whole. So they kind of see the long-term vision. But it's almost just like paper hands. You're a paper hand as far as being a creator, then you pretty much gonna want to just get your money and run off. And it's at this point where it's like nothing that people could do about it. Like people like that create certain NFTs, they'll go and delete the whole, like mute the Discord first, delete their social medias and stuff. So I'm like, that's just kind of weird to me. Some things that I look out for as far as green flags, pretty much just complete opposite. So from a social media aspect, I expect some type of interaction, like I say, from the page, whether it be just them, reposting people sharing the project. Within the Discord, I look for the admin moderators to be pretty active. I look for more than one admin, because I have been in certain projects where it's just kind of weird, and it's only like one admin. I feel like if it's a lot of people, they have a strong background, so they pretty much less likely to kind of scam you in a sense, just because I feel like I think about it from a scam aspect. If someone was to scam you, they would try to kind of get as least many people as possible because they having to kind of, split this money up. But that's just kind of how I look at that. Like I say, and also the utility. So I want to make sure, every, like, the utility is a project that I like, and I also kind of like pay attention to the art. So I feel like with certain things, it's kind of like getting watered down. So I look for, that creative aspect and kind of, what they have to offer that's different. So that's just kind of some of the things that I do. And also, this is something I kind of wanted to start doing on a weekly basis, because I'm not going to be talking about NFTs every single week. But one of the things I wanted to start doing was pretty much, stating 3 projects that I end up looking at. And with those 3 projects, like I said, I kind of, did my research and just kind of like I say, not a financial advisor, just kind of wanted to offer my insight on what I thought about it and just kind of share, some details. And like I say, I also be on a weekly basis, I will be buying 1 NFT. So it's almost kind of like a, consecutive investment type deal. And all of them won't be the same price. Some of them may be higher. Some of them may be lower. But one of the projects that I was looking at and strongly considering was Evolution Apes. So it ended up going for the whitelist for 0.13 Ethereum, which in my opinion, wasn't bad at all. And then as far as the public mint, I want to say the public mint is Friday, and it's for 0. I'm not even sure if did it get announced? Yeah, it got announced. So the public mint was actually Saturday. It's actually Saturday, the 5th, I believe. So it's for 0.15. So it's only, 0.02 Ethereum higher. So it's not, a big deal or whatever. Overall, I feel like they have I feel like the roadmap is good. Community is most definitely good. Social media interaction is good. You kind of see, your admin and moderators kind of get in there talking a lot. So definitely another green flag for me. The next project, and I'm still kind of monitoring this one, I was actually looking at it before I started recording, was Crypto Ducks. So I had talked about Crypto Ducks the first time I talked about NFTs on the podcast, and their whitelist mint was 0.07. But I know initially before they released, they ended up having to push the whitelist mint back, as well as the initial mint, due to kind of having issues with the wallet. Like not the wallet, with the fees and stuff like that. And I think just kind of like a lot of the back, stuff on the back end, as far as probably coding and stuff like that. But they ended up doing the whitelist mint, and it was 0.07. And I had got into the Discord, and I had looked, and like I say, the public mint, it isn't that big of a difference. I actually think it's going on like right now, like literally right while I'm recording. But I was also seeing like they were it wasn't selling out. And I know, a lot of that stuff is like from an organic standpoint, as far as not like the podcast, but as far as, pretty much just kind of promoting, naturally or whatever. So if you're in a kind of like promoting marketing and stuff like that, about like organic marketing. So that's kind of, just really pretty much from like a all natural standpoint. So overall, I feel like it's a good project. Definitely something I'm considering, as far as the Evolution Apes as well. And the other project I was looking at was Mutant Ape Planet. So I pretty much ended up having a mind switch when it came to this project, just simply for the fact that it was kind of similar to Evolution Apes, and pretty much their whole backstory was it was pretty much started from 2 people that own Bored Ape Yacht Club apes. So just kind of getting in there, doing that research, it kind of definitely, kind of clarified some stuff for me. I got on YouTube, watched a couple of videos, and like I say, YouTube is pretty much the same thing as my videos. It's pretty much opinionated based off my research, this, that, and other. But it just kept bringing up red flags for me, as far as just seeing like scam, this, that, and the other. But still in the same sense, like with any investing, you definitely don't want to spend money that you don't have or not willing to, lose, because I feel like the interesting thing about me being able to kind of like gain these, kind of come up with a list for these 3 cryptos is kind of like, not cryptos, come up with these 3 NFTs is like, if I'm able to kind of come up with them, it's showing me, possibly I'm on the right track as far as, things to look for and stuff like that. And I promise I won't be hurt if I do miss out on a project that ends up going big, just because I know, okay, I'm in the right direction. I probably didn't get that one, but if I continue to do these same practices, continue to look at these same things, I could get it. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, actually I had another one as well. So hype bears was one I was looking at. It actually had went ahead and minted, and I seen it was going for like a minimum of 1 Ethereum. So pretty much, everybody that kind of got in there, I think they got in at 0.4 Ethereum. So they pretty much up 0.6 Ethereum, which is pretty much, double their investment, which is a great thing. If you're listening, I appreciate you for listening. I hope you kind of took that into stride, and I definitely kind of want to hear some of the projects y'all looking into, and some of the practices that y'all following to be able to kind of get those projects. Yeah, man. But that's all I have for this episode. I know I was gonna keep it short, but like I said, I'm gonna pretty much be sharing 3 NFTs that I'm considering every week, and like I said, I pretty much be buying one every week. So I'll pretty much share that at the next episode or something like that, man. But without further ado, man, that's gonna wrap this episode up real quick, short, sweet, and to the point, man. Peace.